Hello and welcome. We're doing G melodic minor today. G melodic minor, as all melodic minors, has a high sixth and seven. Now, what's the key signature? It's a relative minor to B flat major. B flat major had two flats. G melodic minor has two flats as well. So B flat and E flat. Now on the way up, the sixth and seventh note, being E flat and F, become E natural and F sharp. So on the way up we only have one flat left, and we have the interesting thing where we have flats and sharps at the same time in one scale. Yeah, it doesn't happen very often, but here you've got it. Yeah, anyway, I'll walk you through all the possible notes. I'm going to start on the C string, even though we're not actually using it in the scale today, because we start on G, which is obviously not happening on the C string. But it's interesting to know, because that E flat and F natural, that is obviously on that C string. So I want you to have a look at how that changes the finger pattern. So C, first finger D, E flat should be, but it's going to be E natural, F becomes F sharp, and then we get to G. Yeah, obviously we're going to start on the open string. You can start on the fourth finger on the C string, obviously, but that's making things difficult for no real good reason. So we're going to do the scale today starting from the open G string. Now we had a 3-4 pattern, yeah. On the way back, that F sharp will become F natural, that E natural becomes E flat. So on the way down we're going to have a 1-2 finger pattern on the C string, at least. So way up, correct, 2 and 3 semitone down. Yeah, so that's what happens on the C string. Now let's have a look at what we're actually going to be doing in the scale today. We start on the open G string, A, B flat, C, D, 1-2 finger pattern, which is the same as we had on the way down the previous string. Yeah. Now we should have that E flat, but it's going to stay. E, F sharp, and then we get G. So that was our first octave. We continue with whatever we have left. Then we get A, or the open A string, obviously. And then we have the B flat, which is a low first finger. So we essentially end up with a full spread between all the fingers. Yeah, so B flat, C, D, and we should expect E here. Yeah, but higher 6 and 7 are there to lead towards the tonica, towards, in this case, the G. Now we've run out of fingers, and considering it's an exercise in first position, we can do nothing but turn back. So this scale is never going to go to the tonica. So we can't actually use that E, because it's going to go back down. So there is not going to be a full spread on the A string, so it's not going to be B flat, C, D, and then a high fourth finger for the E. It's going to be immediately a low fourth finger for the E flat, because that will lead us back down the scale, and that's what we're going to do next. We're not continuing, we're going to go back down. So now we have a E flat. So my high fourth finger never happened. We went straight for low 4. D, C, B flat. And now we have to prepare for the A. Now, of course, you can use the open string, but there are reasons why it might actually be easier this time to go for 4. Oh yeah, before we continue, there's only 2 beats for each note in this scale, just like we did with the B flat major. So at 40 and maybe at 60 you still have time to do the preparations as we did before. but I would suggest you start training already to do the preparations in the air. So when you play B flat, just float 2, 3 and 4, completely spread, because it's going to be tone, tone, tone between all fingers, over the D string. So then you can drop them all at the same time and land on that A. Yeah. When things are slow, now it's ideal time to actually prepare this, to practice this. And in the beginning it's going to feel really awkward, but fortunately preparing in the air full spread is a lot easier than any of the other finger patterns. It requires just you to stretch forward and to relax your thumb. Even when you have to do a full spread, make sure that your thumb doesn't squeeze. The harder you squeeze, the less reach you have, remember. So support the neck with your thumb, float 2, 3 and 4 and drop them. Yeah, so B flat, float, drop, and hope for the best in this case. Yeah, that's why you have to aim for. Yeah, anyway, after A we have get to the G, F natural this time, so this time we have a low second and first on the D string as well. F, E flat, low first, and again we have to prepare a full spread to go to the D. The last few notes is the same as on the way up. Yeah, so like always with a minor melodic, it's a bit messy. There's a lot of stuff to remember, so practice it a few times. Write it down if it helps, draw it out if it helps, choose whatever tricks work for you, but find some tricks. Yeah, because if everybody's memory works differently, but with minor scale you really have to know what's going to happen. You have to be able to prepare differently at 120. If you don't know what you're preparing, it's difficult. And as you see, there is quite a few scales that you need to learn. You can't just hope for the best and throw your fingers at the next string. You have to know what you do. Of course you can hope for the best, and sometimes you will get lucky, but your progress is going to slow down the more scales you need to master. Yeah, so I suggest you don't go for that. Really study it, even away from your instrument. Make sure you know what you're going to do before you actually start doing stuff. Yeah, it will help you get there a lot sooner. Now, why did I say that in this case fourth fingers are going to actually be easier than open strings? Well, even though we have to do that preparation in the air and there won't be much time, Charlotte Briot wants us to slur 2 notes per bow. So 2 beats per note, 4 beats per bow. So G, A, B flat. Yeah, that's easy enough. But now if we use a 4th finger on the way up, then we have to go from 4th finger. And while you play that 4th finger, you have to prepare that 1st finger on the next string. That's really nothing new. However, doing that and doing a strings change and doing a slur might be a bit tricky. Yeah, if you don't struggle with it, please use it. Yeah, but if you do struggle with it in the beginning, use the open string in this case and go for the E natural. F sharp, G, the same here. It's either a slur 4-1, which requires you to change strings in the middle of the slur while you prepare the next 1st finger, or you can go for open A string and B flat. Yeah, but now on the way down it works out differently. So I continue, I end up with C, B, E flat, C, B flat. And now if I use the open string, I have to do the slur across strings this time as well, and the preparation for the next string. So now there's a ton happening. So we have to slur dot A and G, yeah, or we can just prepare the 4th finger and do the same two notes but on one string. So you have a choice. Either you prepare your fourth finger while you play the first finger, drop your fourth finger in large simple 4-3, or you go for the, in this case, more difficult solution, would be playing the open string. While you play the open string, do the preparation, drop the preparation, and at the same time you have to change strings on the down bow. Same thing happens here, so you can go for 0-3, or you can take the easier option and prepare and play 4-3. So now the difficulty is the coordination. If you don't prepare a fourth finger and you prefer to go for the open string, you have to do the preparation and the string crossing and the slurring all at exactly the same time, and getting that coordination is hard work. Is it impossible? Obviously it isn't, and you will at some point have to learn it, but I'm just saying in this case it is actually the easier option to use the fourth finger. Yeah, so whichever you want to use, it's completely up to you. Right now we're just going to play through the scale, and we're at 40 beats yeah, per minute. Here we go. Ready? We start from the open G string, so G. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. E flat. Open. E natural. And F sharp. Semitone to G. Open string again. Low first will be flat. And E flat immediately. Prepare, full spread. F natural next, and E flat. Prepare again. So, after all that talking, the scale itself is quite short. Repeat it quite a few times. Remember all the preparations, the fact that you can choose to use open strings or fourth fingers, but they each bring their own complications, so we can choose whatever you like. And when you control it, then learn the other one. Yeah, I would suggest you start with whatever you find the easiest, and then later on practice the thing that is for you a little bit more awkward, and that changes from person to person. Yeah, so yeah, I'll see you either at the accompaniment, which is quite nice, or at 60. Bye.